It's on.
25 is here, and with it comes a switch from duos to trios for competitive play. Let's take a look at a few teams that you need to be on the lookout for in both EU and NA Central. The first team, and the team that's certainly been first in a lot of events this season,
Wait, I need to check
Veno,
if I'm
Vico,
alive.
and Flixi. Since coming together in duos for Major 3 last year, Vico and Flixi have performed exceptionally well, winning that major and placing 4th at Globals. Now with the addition of one of EU's finest players in Veno, this trio have been unstoppable. With 2 first-place finishes in weekly finals this season and not placing outside of 4th. With this terrific trio now situated
Vico,
at one of the best
they're really
spots on
good.
the map, Flooded Frogs, and with them being the most
We'll see how you're
consistent
working at
team in
Pro
Europe,
Evolution.
it's easy to see why they're the favourites to win it all this season. FNCS veterans Tayson and Trulex have tried out a couple of options for trio mates this season, however have eventually settled on Trulex's good friend, Chicho. Since coming together, this trio from the Balkans have placed.
Guys, I need to know, do you think these guys will win? I don't think they win this. They're really good, but they're not winning.
Give them perfect access to the center of the map.
I think I can do that off
allowing this team to
consistency.
face up for Storm Surge tags, like we know Trulex's teams have always loved to do. Widely regarded as the GOAT of Fortnite, Tayson will be looking to rekindle some of that success that he had in trios previously, as the back end of the Duos era won't be one that he'll be looking back on too fondly. But you can never count out a player of his caliber, and with the way that this trio are playing and the experience of all 3, they have to be considered one of the finest in the region this season. The iconic invitational winners Cami and Seti have picked up fellow Polish player Chari.
Yeah, these guys, I think
although
they
Chari hasn't
definitely
had the
top
same
it. They have
success
won
as
in
Cami and
FNCS
Seti
though.
over the years, he's been consistently making grand finals, most notably with Giras, so it's clear to see why he's joined the team. This season has been incredibly solid for the trio, with 3 top 3 finishes in weekly finals, including 1 first place. The main competition for them so far has been the French trio of Akira, X-Squeeze and Podesai, fighting off Spawn at Lost Lake. While currently it seems like the Polish boys have been dominating pretty much entirely, historically, Cami and Seti haven't performed as well whenever they're contested in grand finals. Let's see if the shift in game mode and the addition of Chari is the key to changing that going into the first major of 2025. Now
In their
let's hop
group that
across
they're
the
in,
pond
which
to
is
NA.
group 3, they're
And
not
one player
contested,
that's
so.
quite literally done just that
Right.
is Vidil, now playing with Cooper and Sphinx.
Is
At
the
the beginning
East
of the
one, or?
season, Vidil struggled to find a team,
Let's
so
see.
decided to go to
Okay,
NA to find more success.
so I'll
Although
give you
Cooper
some
and
stuff
Sphinx
on
have
how
had some
this
solid
works.
performances with Noxie,
So there's
they also decided to switch
if
it
we
up.
look from this
decision
major
seems to
1
have
play-in,
dividends so far.
in both of
As
these
since
top
coming together,
99
they've
teams
placed
go in
second,
3
fifth,
different
and
groups.
second again
Group
in
1,
the
2 and
weekly
3.
final.
And
the
top
synergy
10 from
between
each
Cooper and
group go
Vidil
to
when it comes
finals.
fragging has been excellent
So yeah, that's
to
how it
watch
works.
so far. As for Sphinx, although he's had less overall
And a
success
trio?
than Vidil and Cooper, he is proving to be an excellent IGL and helping to keep this team on track for success. Look out for these guys at Master Meadows this season. After the most
They're
dominant
really
year in
good.
competitive
They're definitely one
Fortnite
of the
history
best.
with Poyo,
Oh,
Peter
no.
Bot is back.
We
And
know
picking
we're
up
winning.
exactly
This
where
is
he left
definitely
off
the
with
one.
new teammates Cold and Ritual. Since getting together
This guy
season,
is
they've
winning.
won
I would be
every
more
single
surprised if he did not
weekly
win.
final.
You have
More often
no
than not,
idea,
with a
bro.
100-point margin, and are widely regarded as the best team in NA at the moment. The way that they're doing this
Probably
is similar
because
to how
they're all-
Peterbot operated before, landing at the best drop spot on the map and dominating from there on out with high eliminations propelling them
Any
through
trap
the match.
stuff? No.
Currently, much like Veno's trio, they feel that Flooded Frogs is the best drop spot, with its incredible loot, materials, and early surge opportunities.
Yeah, I think it's
However,
because of
with
that
this
vault
team
with the void
still
mask. That's why
winning
literally
earlier
every
weeks, landing
god
at Brutal
team
Box
just lands
Cars,
there.
it shows that this team have the skill, experience, and versatility to
Cami,
take it all
what?
home. Finally, onto what is likely to be a fan favorite team this season: Clicks, Batman Booger, and Eonzo.
I hope they can
It's a
win this
team that
season,
will have
bro.
a lot
I
of
mean,
eyes
not
on
this
them to
season.
perform,
Maybe this year, bro.
as Clicks always
I want
does.
them to win,
And
like,
he
at
in
least one
particular will be looking
FNCS.
to break that 4th place curse, take home his first FNCS title, and fulfill his potential. Batman Booger will be looking to pick up
Batman
where he left
Booger.
off in duos after a breakthrough year with Rapid. And
I did
Eonzo
really
will
well
be
last
looking
year,
to bring
but-
the firepower that we know he can.
And now I'm
But
pretty sure he's
hasn't
gonna do
quite
really
seen to
well
the
as well.
fullest during Chapter 5. As for performances so far, it's looking good for this trio, as since coming together for Week 5, they managed a 2nd place in Opens.
Yeah,
and
these
a
guys are
5th
really
in
good,
weekly
so I
finals.
feel like they might be
This,
like a top
combined
3
with their
potential
solid
team.
drop spot of Lost Lake, make this trio an exciting prospect, and one that fans will be watching closely. Let's hope they can bring the heat in Grand Finals. With so many teams to look
Oh,
out
we still have
for,
the group
it's
stage. This
impossible
is the
for
group
us to
stage,
fit
by the
them
way.
all into one video. So let us know down below which teams you're excited about going to this season's FNCS. And we'll see you very soon for the start of Major 1.
It's just gonna say like format. It's really boring here, so so this is really good. There's a lot of pro teams, so we can discuss more about more teams. They didn't talk about Sky Scroll and iDrop. I feel like this team has really winning potential. Pixie, Vaniac, and Marius as well have really good potential to do absolutely dominate. We have Walks, Malibuga, and Ping. These guys again are one of the people who are going to look to win it and dominate. We have Blatcher, Mixon, and Comeback. These guys are, I just gotta say, very underrated. Oh wait, let me just shut up. Alright. Anyways, so these guys are super underrated, and I think these guys can make a minimum of top 5. Countryuple and I think this is Finiac. Yeah, these guys, I don't really know too much about them. I don't know if they're gonna make it to grand finals. It's might be hard. Burstash, Flizzy, Queasy. Let's be real, these guys are. Queasy is just known for holding high ground the best. Queasy is just known for the king of high ground. We have Dexy, Firen, and Giras. So we have Giras, because Chavi left Giras for Kamiseti. Dexy, which is very underrated, and Firen, which is, if we look on the solo cash cups, we will see. Oh, the solo cash cups. We will see. Let's check out this finals. We have. Well, he has been really consistent. If you look for the last one, Firen. But where did Firen go in this? Oh gosh. Come on, Firen. See, he's been doing really well as a solo. So Firen definitely has that potential. He's somewhere here. I don't know. To do really well. I think the tricky part for them will be to make grand finals. Dexy, Giras, and Firen. Well, will be a tricky part for them, but if they can make it, I know they can do somewhere well. We have, I'm not reading that, Nafrizi and Ilisha. I don't know too much about this team. They could make it to finals, and if they do make it to finals, my guess is they place in top 20 minimum. Hydro, Trex, and Robin, again, someone that has a chance to not make it to finals, but if they do, they will do well. I think top 15. King Cringe, Xenox, and Lord Buffett. I just don't know who this is. And I bet I could see these guys doing good. I'm pretty sure they're contested, but I don't know if these guys will make it to finals. That's going to be the tricky part. Predige, Radeon, and Rax. These guys are absolutely outstanding, and if they make it to finals, I bet you they're making it in top 10. No question. Pink, Nebs, and Chino. These guys do have the potential to do well. I don't know about them. I would say they would make it like 18th or something. Yanis, Chap, and Noah Rayleigh. These guys, I'm pretty sure, might be a close one if they make it to finals. I'm pretty sure they will, though. I'm not sure they will do well in finals. I don't think there's someone who could do well. Cringe, Mappy, Kid. This is a team that could do well. I know they can do well, but just not in the right mindset now. Scary. I don't know who that is. Frack. We'll just call him Frack. And Joan. I don't really know about them. I think they can make it to grand finals. Ralvis, Kashki, and Demule. I mean, no question needed. I think these guys are going to make it to finals. I don't know why. They're really good. But so they will make it to finals in some way or another. CS, ZZB, Nathan, and Eclipse. Again, these guys are really good, and I bet they can do it. This is one of my favorite teams going into this. Shakos, Momsy, and Skydrop, they are contesting Swizzy, Murstache, and Queasy. In the group they're in at this point, it is not contested. What time is it? I think it started. Yeah.
2K and Mini Miner. So let's bring them in now. Omni masking in. Hello, Levin. You actually did do a little bit of an Omni mask then. How was the teleportation for you? Feeling fresh?
Smooth.
What?
I think you know, I still need a couple minutes to adjust, but I'll be alright. We got some time.
Mini Miner, you're more of a Typhoon Blade man.
Yeah, I am. I like to keep on the ground, you know, keep traditional in my rotation, but it feels good to be back doing the shows again, man. It feels good to have Fortnite back.
And you know what's interesting to me is the past couple of years of FNCS, it's been all about duos. This is going to be my personal first season covering trios. We're still a desk trio, and yet you still have
I don't know, will trios be better or
to
no?
discuss why that is, and for me to be humiliated on the broadcast, because we actually want to hear
Like,
from some
will
of our
trios
pro
be
players
good
on
or
their
no?
thoughts about the biggest changes now
Like,
we've headed back to
who
trios.
thinks this trios is better? I want to know in the comments.
I think the most significant change I've seen going
Do you
from
know?
duos to trios is, you know, how much longer people can survive without materials. Because people really love spraying a lot more, and like there's a lot more refreshes, but like there's not as much materials being spread out. So people just love to use their armor. I've never noticed it so much. People love their spray, and like it's less shotgun oriented now and more like playing as a team and spraying.
I think that's
the
a
most
good
significant
change.
From duos to trios is that
Finding
it's
teammates is
way
harder.
easier to be consistent in trios, I feel like. So where in duos you used to have like a lot of upcoming
Queasy,
teams
where are you?
competing. I feel like in trios it's like 5 like very strong teams that
I think this was when he was in holiday.
The most competitive change from duos
Tripper?
to trios is, I think, definitely just I think the skill gap is way bigger in trio. So if you're a good trio, you'll do good compared to a duo. You can be a good duo and not do as well. But if you're a good trio, you just do well in every tournament.
Yeah,
There we go. Well, Tripper,
that's right. I think
love
one
the
of the
fact he's
bigger
like, yeah,
changes for me
here
is
in
just
the street, you can do
it's
well
harder to find
every
teammates.
tournament, and
So much
Tripper
harder,
has
bro.
made it through to Major 1 with his partners Fredoxy and Thomas in 99th place. What's the significance of coming 99th, Mini Miner?
Well,
Oh,
they're
that's
actually
so
now
good.
in group number 3, so we don't get to see those guys today, but yeah, quite ironic how he says that. But they all make very good points there, right? About how trios, you know, you're going to have a little bit more materials, of course, an extra person's worth of loot to get to that end game. You're going to have an extra person's worth of heals as well, Levin. So almost it makes it a little bit easier to get further into the game, but everyone else is also a trio, right? You're not the only trio, not everyone else is duos.
Right,
I think
right.
mats is going to
It's
be a
funny
very
hearing them
big
say that.
change
My
because
good friend Sundown,
there's a
right, used
lot
to
more
be on
mats
the
all
show.
handed
He used to
around and
always
it's
say
easy to
Fortnite's a
get like
resource
stuff.
management game, right? It's all about who can get to end game, you know, the most stacked, and so when you have that extra person, I feel like it probably does feel like you can add a bit of extra consistency to your game. So there's no, you know, surprises as to why they're all saying that.
Do you think that the challenges of Surge are
I'm
going to
not
be
sure
something
against
that
that.
particularly puts the newer trios to the test this season 11?
I think there's an element of that, right? But you know,
It's
Surge
5
has been
games.
difficult every season for the past couple years now, right? So you sort of have to figure things out. Duos, trios, you know, teams will get the damage however they need to.
I'm not in the right place.
And then the other
am I?
factor with these trios is the fact that there's not just 2 of them communicating amongst each other. There's going to be a 3rd voice in the mix. So let's hear again from.
Yeah, I think
Alfred.
communicating actually will be a lot harder. It's really hard to
The team
communicate.
chemistry and like communication, those always just about playing a lot together and maybe talking outside the tournaments, just talking as friends and just talking about how your communication was in the tournament and just overall just playing a lot together and just figuring everything out.
Yeah, I do think communication I
I feel
really
like trios
lacked on in my
was
last
always,
tournament
like,
of trios.
upper
But
hand rather than duos. But with my trios, with immersives, we haven't been playing for that long, so right now we've just built chemistry by like having good
Yeah.
vibes, going playing together.
they do really have to build chemistry,
You know, just
Swizzy,
having fun.
Queasy, and Murstache, because these
How I
guys have
developed my
basically never
chemistry with
played
my team,
together. Swizzy,
the
Murstache have
last
though.
like month I've been playing with them is well, it's a bit harder because they obviously they're fluent German, so it takes time to get adjusted to things and like For example, when I'm dead and they're duo clutching, they'll just speak German. So like it's a bit hard to communicate with them at times like that. But it's nice that we have a coach who can chime in who's also German, who can tell me what they're saying and like give me help me understand things a bit more. But it's been about mostly keeping it fun and lighthearted, because sometimes you have to remember you are playing with people who are younger. I'm 20 now, but I'm a bit more experienced, and that's the harder side, keeping it fun, because I see this as a career, and they're not seeing that at that level yet.
Yeah, I think we call it for
okay, yeah, it is business, but I've also got to remember to keep it fun for my trio, because I'm old now. I'm 20. I've got to be responsible of them.
No, absolutely. I
mean, that's funny.
It's funny hearing Venel say that, because I know he's had some struggles in his trios at times, trying to be almost that babysitter. But you got to do what you got to do, really.
Yeah, and he makes a great point there as well about communication and language barriers. I feel like it's often so overlooked with people that watch competitive Fortnite. We don't get to necessarily hear the comms too often. So it's like, particularly in Venel's case, of course, we're speaking about the teammates, of course, being speaking German. There are other trios that have had that as well. Sky and Scroll, of course, would have spoke Danish when they play with Refsguard. Now they're playing with iDrop. They have to switch to English, I'd imagine. So that is such an important
I did not think about that. I thought iDrop was Danish, but I don't know what language iDrop speaks, so it's hard to tell,
Right? I feel like when people don't realize it, just because, again, a lot of these guys maybe can speak in English as their second language and do it well, but when you look at the history of FNCS winners, right, the overwhelming majority are people who are able to speak in their native language. And when you look at the people who beat that trend, right, the likes of the Queasies, the Taysons, the Venos, what's the trend amongst them? It's literally like the best players ever, right, to reach the mountaintop while not speaking in their first language, or not actually, but you get what I'm trying to say. So it's not easy to do. It's super important to have good communication.
It really is, and yet somehow I've ended up managing to get this job despite the fact that my communication sorely lacking at times. But you know what? We have two casters who never are lost for words. Returning to Europe, best region, it is the best taco.
Nah, she's not lying though.
Thanks so much, Frankie. But hey, give yourself a pat on the back as well. I mean, the desk would not be the same without you there. I'm sure 11 and Mini Miner could agree. But
the first game's in 7 minutes.
EU, home sweet home. It is not the only change that we have happening for this chapter, because in comparison to Chapter 5, we're seeing the shakeup now. It's no longer focused around series points for the format. Instead, we're doing things a little differently.
Yeah, they are.
Exactly. Let's actually take a look here. So instead of opens and
it's all top 5 advance. So if you win a game in that, you automatically go to finals, and then the top 5 also go to finals. That's how it works.
3 different set lobbies. To qualify from these set lobbies to the major finals, you either have to get top 5 on the leaderboard or take home one of those 5 potential victory royales. The remaining 3 trios will qualify from the last chance, and that will have our total 33 trios in the major finals. But Taco, major finals are a little different from last season.
Yeah, we're not going to see that 1.5 times point multiplier any longer.
I want to see how this works out.
Both days, while always crucial, now you just means that you can't have that fallback option in case you're trying to make up for some lost time. But that's enough emphasis on the format. Right now, let's get back to focus on some trios at the desk.
Thank you so much, guys. So there you go. Consistency is going to be even more important than ever when it comes to our major finals. Let's, though, have some early predictions from our
guys, the
analysts.
brick in the background, I just want to break it. I don't know why. I just do, man. Somebody break it.
Predictions for winning victory royales today across our 5 matches.
Yeah, that's right. I've decided to pick 5 teams that I think are going to be winning a game today. Historically, my predictions have always gone very well. So let's have a little look at what these are going to be, of course. Number 1 on the list, 11, iDrop, Sky and Scroll. The best team so far in terms of the play-ins. They won that week. They had 4 wins in the play-ins as well. They only played 16 games, so a quarter of the games they actually managed to win. I think this is a no-brainer for a victory round today.
I guess that's true. That's really true. I think iDrop, Sky and Scroll are winning, bro.
It's a no-brainer. I think many people look at this group and they instantly look at iDrop and Sky and Scroll, and with the form they've been on, they won the play-in, right? So this is clearly the team most in form here in the EU.
They're really underrated.
And the beauty of them is they win games in so many different ways, right? Teams play hype from early, and this is an example of a game where they
iDrop, Sky and Scroll are So
go
very
through the island,
underrated.
they play
So
for the island one, so they're gonna obviously have that invis coin and a bunch of other, you know, loot and whatnot. But then they can TP, use the Oni TP to get into a good spot where they can build up for height, invest a lot of materials.
no clue
Scroll
who
getting a
that
bit
is.
PC with his scroll will buy and still have no idea how he does that. But ultimately, right, it's all about, you know, using, investing your mats in these early
Guys,
positions,
Scroll are
making
so
sure you're aware
underrated.
of the
I
different
have
tools,
no
that's
clue
pull
why
away
people
from
are
you, you can
underrating
TP
these
into a
guys.
good spot to stop
What
other
is
teams
Scroll
from
doing
taking
in the
it,
background?
and they just do it so well this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's highlighted right there on that screen. You could sort of see exactly where they're positioned. They were looking out for each other, making sure that teams can't just triple TP up onto height, which is a real danger this season. So playing height is certainly a bit of an art this season, and having that chemistry that this trio have is absolutely vital. And that's why they're the team that had the second most victory royales when it comes to the play-ins, because they just have all of these different facets, all these different strings to their bow. And one of the other strings, of course, that they have is the low ground, the way that they're able to play when things don't necessarily go their way with the island, when they can't build
just
up
go
and get that
Scroll.
high ground early
I
on.
feel like
They
there's
use their
someone
fragile
who
abilities
could
to
be a
their
top contender
advantage
to
on
win
low ground
FNCS
and
this
really pick up
season.
so many eliminations and therefore
But
so many refreshes as well.
we'll also have to see through like the
This
group
game, I think, is
stage.
a great example of how they use it, right? You can see them there making sure to claim space on the opening side of the zone, waiting for these players to drop down. In this specific clip here, right, you see Sky tarping ahead, using the chug splashes that they had this season to claim that position, give them more time
Cringe.
to fight and look for refreshes.
Oh,
They're
sorry,
making
man.
sure to use
Unlucky.
those sentinel pump shotguns and the incredible amounts of structure damage that it deals to be able to
Mappy
secure refreshes
and
as
Mappy
well.
dead.
And again, just making sure they're just using everything available.
I think
to them
Sky
in this
Scroll are
season
one of the
as
best
efficiently
teams.
as possible
Like,
to
I
win
don't know
from
why
height
they,
or low ground.
they're so
Well,
underrated.
you convinced me,
I
really,
say
Maya.
this
I'm
too much,
pretty
but
sure that these guys are going to be
underrated
taking a victory royale today.
goats.
But what about the other four
They have
names
not won an
on the
FNCS.
list? So,
People
TV's
who have
giving
watched
Chris,
Global
that's an
Championships,
interesting trio. It wasn't necessarily a
they did
trio
make it there,
expected
Sky Scroll.
to see competing, I guess, at the start of chapter
What is
6.
that skin?
Why have you put them on the list?
Teeny
Well, I mean, if you look at
Chris.
them on paper, you think this is a fantastic
Why are
trio.
you giving
They're
them
gonna
that
absolutely
skin,
dominate
man?
and do incredibly well.
giving them
I
those
still think they
random
will do that,
skins.
hence why they're on my list. But so far, not so good for this trio. They've actually only made 1 out of the 3 possible weekly finals that they could have made. In that actual weekly final, they placed 31st, which is not ideal at all. But the reason why I think they can win and they should win today is the fact they just full send high every single game. And they are a team that can
Teeny,
do that. They have it in
Scubby,
their
and
locker, and they're actually the team
Chris.
in the lobby with
The reason
most
why I
wins
think they
in
will
all of
do
these
well is
finals
because
they've
in
had,
the
whether it be divisional or
performance
finals or, of course,
evaluation,
those eval
they
finals as
really
well. So
dominate.
have it in
They
their locker.
win
I
like
don't think it's
one
consistent
game at
on their
least.
level, but I think they will.
Fairly
I think
consistent.
that's a pretty fair pick. I think a lot of people agree with you on that one. I like you also taking Vanya, right? Vanya, Pixie, and Marius are a team that have looked very good in the little we've seen from them. It's been a weird journey for them, right? Because
Vanya,
they started
Pixie,
with
and Marius.
Dropped Marius for Chap, played worse with Chap, then picked up Marius, started playing good again. You know, were contested in the final and still came second. Like they've had a bit of a rocky.
Vanya,
journey here.
Pixie, Marius,
Ultimately, this
so
is
they're a
what
top
they can
contender
do
to make a top 3.
well. If you actually
It's
look
really
at
hard to
the
tell in
stats when it
Europe.
comes
It's
to this type of
very
format where
diverse.
it's like a win and you're in, reboot round style. Vanya has some of the highest win rates of anyone all over the world. So this guy is primed when it comes to winning in these type of games.
Well, I'm hoping to see him challenging for height later on today. I would love to see Mini Miner's predictions, though, for the top 5 teams that aren't going to win a victory royale today, but will be incredibly consistent in terms of getting to those end games and picking up the points. So, who have you got?
We
for
have
Mini Miner?
Taser, Trulix, Future, Quinch, Mappy, Kate, Reborn, Hydro, Trexer, Real, Mr. Buell, Cassia, and Predator, Radio, and Max. Fridge Mappy and Kate, I feel like that one's the most one that I feel like might not do it. Fridge Mappy and Kate have been really doing bad in their early game. Fridge Mappy Kate.
I think what they lack in that sort of fragging ability, they just make up for in their brains. They're landing at Foxy center of the map, surge bases that
was
we know
that?
that Trulex and Chicho are known for, and actually picking up Chicho I think has just bolstered this trio even more, Levin, but I just don't think they've been a winning trio so far. They only managed 1 out of the 20 games that they played in the play-ins, and I think with their position on the map, they're absolutely guaranteed to make it into that end game and qualify through consistency.
Yeah, I feel like they will qualify for consistency. Their position by like on that Foxy Floodgate Mountain is so overpowered. Like, doesn't matter where you land, you will get tagged. There's like 3 mountains they just base up on, have full vision around them.
Disagree with you and say I could see them winning the game is just the fact that like the lobby quality. I think like when you look at the overall lobby and the level of player in here, I think they are just so high up there that eventually they're gonna make it to enough of these end game stacks that they find that right win condition and pick up a win. Either way though, they're gonna qualify.
Oh
I'm
no,
confident
it's
in
time
that
for
today.
game 1, brothers.
Especially
Oh, I'm excited, bro. It's time for our first game.
really land-proven players, right? I would expect them to get a victory royale if they were all competing on the stage. Do you think that that's something that really hypes them up? Are they not as
Oh,
strong?
guys, she's excited. We're going in the first game, bro.
I don't know if maybe we can draw that conclusion, but you know, I think you're spot on in saying, especially in Trueleg's case, right? He's one of the best land players of all time. When you look at his track record, so I don't think.
Bro, get in game 1. Time's passed.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how all of our teams get the job done, and I can't wait to hear
Can anyone find
our
matches in
newest
this?
commentating
Bro, the game's already started, bro.
voices over the
Guys, you're late.
boys. Without further ado, let's get
You're
game
late.
1 underway with Takata and
You're late. You're late. You're late. You're late.
Thank you so much,
You're late.
Frankie.
Oh
You know,
no.
first of all,
Oh
congratulations,
God.
Taco. You're back on the best region, EU. How does it feel to be back?
It feels great. I think it is hilarious though, the way that everybody just has to put the emphasis on the best. You know, I don't want to give full betrayal just yet to NA like that, but no, I'm definitely excited that Takata. I mean, we're seeing group stage number 1 kick off here today.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We already have the play-ins. The battle bus is already ready, so let's kick off.
Let's go, bro. I'm like excited. We're gonna see who does it. I'm not gonna check the leaderboard mid game.
And
No.
look, Takata, it's been building for a while now.
Oh my God,
Every
this looks so
single
weird.
one of our teams competing here today, not willing to risk leaving it up to that last chance qualifier.
What was that
Oh
noise?
yeah, if you took a look at the drop map, we do have.
Oh, we
some
have contesting
contestations
Martian,
coming through,
Ziffy,
but
and
we are gonna be
Jordy.
starting it off at Twinkle Terrace with Marine here. Just
Twinkle
one other trio
Terrace, are you-
contesting them.
It's Twinkle Tower.
And a part of the play for Marine, Jordy,
It's a
Zippy,
3v3. I
they're
think
gonna
they
have
could
to
split
keep an
this.
eye out. Seems like
It's either they fight on this.
Stadium's
They
still
could
gonna be
split. They
something
could
left
split.
up for grabs
There is
later
a chance
on
they
for the
split.
West if they want to try and pick up more on their medal, but
There is a chance they split,
stalemate
but
so far. Neither
I think they're
side
trying to go.
really willing
Oh,
to push the
yeah,
other
I
just
thought they were
yet.
going for a pinch,
Right.
but
In these situations,
they could
there's
easily pinch
various
Martian.
different POIs.
You guys
know,
really want to
have
try and
times
stick
where
together?
There's a far superior side that both
I'm so
trios
cold.
might just try and potentially 50-50. But when you're in these set lobbies, sometimes you might just want to stick to
Truxer
your
is already
roots.
dead.
You have your loot path already set up. You have
What is up
your
in
kind
the
of
air?
strategy to try and come out on top in this early
Oh
game.
no,
So
I
we'll
think
see if
Hydro
the
Root
aggression comes
loses. Robin
through,
dead.
But from what
This
I'm
is
seeing now,
Hydro does
this
lose here,
Hydro
so we know that.
is not in a good position.
Defending for his life currently, considering Trexer Robin though could potentially be revived here.
What
But
was
Hydro,
that?
he's not going to get the space. losing
Bro,
a
the
lot.
NPC's griefing
Basically
him.
what he has left here, but he's trying to commit to this revive. Now finding the walls just continue to be aggressed on by Fricks, but Fricks
Oh, no.
refusing to let this revive happen onto Robin, and finally he breaks through. Fricks will find that final elimination. Trio successfully
no.
eliminated, but it doesn't
Hydro
look like
Trexer
Fricks has
and
been left
cheating
in the
is
greatest
out.
situation
That's not
either.
cheating.
Solo will be able to play for the
This
revive.
guy's scrolling eye drop. This is a top contending
So far, I
team.
didn't see anybody close
to win
by.
this
is
first
gonna be
game.
big. That is where Night Rose is at.
Where
so we
is
will hopefully
I drop in
be
Sky?
able to finish that up, clean it up.
Where are they?
We are going to
Oh, there
move
they are.
towards
iDrop.
iDrop's trio here, which are looking
Where is
incredibly peaceful.
Sky?
No
Probably
danger in
somewhere
their
there.
surroundings so far.
KPI,
But if we
no,
look
wait.
here,
Clone,
the Spanish
Kramsu,
trio,
and
Kramsu,
Case.
Clone, Case, all fully up here, looking healthy at the seaport. But this couldn't last too long.
I feel that they're contested. I wouldn't be surprised.
And
Okay.
Case having a bit of fun
Yes.
on socials at the expense of
Mirrors.
Splash's trio.
And
Little bit
what
of a
is this?
drop situation that could be the real thorn in the side for Mirus,
Oh,
Shrift, Splash, but what matters is their fighting capability. And right now, completely
I don't know why they're not
smothered to the
splitting.
low ground.
They should just
It's gonna
split
be
it.
difficult
Like
for them
Sky
to
just
actually
attacking them.
find an opening
Martian dead.
since they're playing for that lack of elevation.
Ryan seems to have gone down here.
Ziffy?
Is going to be fully eliminated. But this engagement is just getting started as the Oni mask is going to be used to take high ground. Now shots
Oh,
from above,
oh
pitch out
no,
the player, single them out, do
Scout.
what you can to clean this up,
Scary.
as
Oh,
they will be able
oh,
to
that,
secure
that,
the
that
knock.
was not.
Quick
That,
elimination
that,
onto
no.
Ziffy. Not a single teammate has gone
God.
down. It's all about efficiency in this early game. You want to
Who's
be able to clean up these
the
fights as
blue
quickly
guy?
as possible
I
so you
want
can
in blue.
continue
Why?
on your loot path if you
Water,
haven't finished looting, or
Jordy.
if not, get ready for that search path. They are going to use a water sprite though to heal right back up, and
Tasty
I'm not
Night
even sure
of
if they're gonna
True.
hunt down that last player or just maybe get a bit more centered as the game continues.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about efficiency as far as loot paths are concerned and capitalizing on these quick fights, but that was the problem for Marine's trio. They weren't able to actually close out that exchange at Twinkle Terrace initially up against Syla and Nazik, so instead just pounced upon, and Gorditi, Scary Sean, Joanne, they just get that perfect prime
Gorditi?
opportunity to
How'd you
secure
say
their
that?
surge early on by just third-partying. And that far on the
Mystic
outskirts,
Prox
it's
and
highly
Mac-
unlikely they're going to have to worry
Uh-oh.
about teams being able to rotate
Teeny
behind them
versus
now
Kaveh.
either, so they might even be able to just prioritize fishing at
They
this
do
time.
not have any kills
Yeah.
here.
It is a crucial part of this
You
meta.
can think of flicks
trying
art
to
in
fish
this.
as much as you can for those shield fish, which then you can use to recuperate the shield you lose, getting those storm surge tags. We've seen also the
Check
Oni
in the
mask
chat.
being used a lot throughout this season because you can kind of spread out.
Guys,
a
who
bit
do you think
more
will
than
win
you'd
first game?
normally
Type
be
in
able
chat.
to find
Who do you think
tags from
wins
various
first game?
angles as we look at a potential engagement forming here. Teeny,
Oh, no.
Patriscary, looking for an
Missed
angle
it.
here. Does have that Typhoon Blade in hand.
Okay, they run,
To
they
get a bit
run.
more
They're definitely
elevation on
scared.
their jump, but no shots are gonna
Prox?
connect yet
Teeny? Sneak up on
as they
Prox?
continue to
Oh,
look
he
for an
never
opening.
knows.
Just a Typhoon Blade versus
Forget what you
Void
play
Mask
safe.
Classic. Teeny at least gonna try to
Mystic
see
has a
if he
really
can
high
play for the
position.
high ground, but Mystic being able to teleport up there, so much easier for him to just reconvene with the rest of his trio. Maxi, Prax, now also gonna look towards the high ground. 6 chili chug splashes.
Zone
so
pulls
they
away.
could get aggressive here if they wanted to. The question is whether or not they feel
Zone
like
pulls
they've got
away,
fighting
though.
power to match that.
I feel like you don't. I feel like you just go like around the side. That would be my idea. Guys, type in chat who you think will win game 1. I'm checking.
Doesn't look like any engagement is going to come through.
Nobody
They have
has
the trio
typed yet.
masks set up in case they were gonna get
Everybody
pushed, but it
watching,
wasn't
type in
an
chat who you
aggressive
think's
Oni
gonna win
mask, it
game
was more
1.
like a defensive one, just
Axe
getting
Force,
ready to
Rabob,
combat the
Fanasian.
push that never ended
Come
up
on, brother.
happening.
These
So,
are one of the best
we'll
teams.
see what for 9
Who's
Axe Force
just
and
inviting
Ivana
me?
doing now. As it looks like they are
Who is that?
Loot-wise, shield-wise, material-wise, basically everything you need to just continue forward and now start looking for a bit more damage.
Bound to have noticed the surge base off in
No.
the distance though, but what's really drawn them closer up is the shots fired.
What? Okay,
Go bomb.
checking. Flixie?
Keep buzz.
Bro, Flixie's not even in this game.
Trio.
Oh my
Nosif,
God.
Nate, and Nazen, and this
Flixie's
battle
not even in this
taking place
game,
here
bro.
on Mountain Range.
You can't vote Flixie.
So it'd be a lot
He's not
easier
even in
for
this.
one of these teams to essentially spot out if they're getting pressured.
This
anytime
is
soon
group
from a third-party
1, so
circumstance.
there's no
Nazen, he's been
because
a
we
bit
can
too far
Flixie.
split from the rest of his trio. He's getting 2v1 currently.
I hope Nazen has a
Bro, Vigo Vino Flixie are probably just watching this right now.
Trios, if you're in a
I mean, not mine,
three versus one, is incredibly hard.
It might be streaming their own,
This
because they're not in
situation.
the
Triple
group
sprays,
1.
triple shotguns, anything they possibly can to get some shots in the door. But they are gonna have to clean up this fight
Focus up.
if they wanna
Kale bar.
just giving more time for their
Oh,
opponents to
bro.
get closer and closer and kind of
So-
support their teammate that was singled out. It
Batman
looks like they might have taken
Spider?
it or they didn't want to take that risk.
It's honestly
probably the same guy, guys.
that I'd be the most concerned with because that mountain
No.
from Foxy Floodgate has
Okay, any responses?
towards his mountain range hero spanning over the base.
Well, why is there a
tunnel, and
laughing
so
emoji?
Nosif
Oh,
and
anyways.
they know they can't afford to stay out in the open for much longer.
Pixie Mary's
but
Spanier.
rotation
These are one of the top teams to win.
straight into the hands.
I feel like they can win. If they don't win,
And
it's
they already had this
straight through
one-on-one match for a
consistency.
fight that just fizzled out into a whole lot of nothing. Maybe they
Oh,
got
no.
some surge tags, but not sure if it was enough.
They're one of
for
the
it to
best teams.
really be
They're
capable
one
of
of the
just
top
focus on
contenders
rotations.
here to win.
Yeah, only time will tell. A lot of materials were used.
See, Andy,
for that
Shark, and
engagement.
Jew. These are one of
I'm not
my
sure if
top
it
teams to
was
do well.
worth it, but believe
I
it's
think
also
these guys
one
could do
match
well. I
champion
think
who
these guys are
engaged
definitely
here. They are
qualifying.
inside of the storm.
They will find a
Second
way.
zone
These
is
guys are
gonna
just
come to
one
a
of the
close
best
here
teams.
shortly. Nothing to be too worried about yet. You can see the 4 shield fish in the inventory, making use.
Oh, they don't have any
But
medkits,
so
I don't
far,
think.
we'll
It's hard
see
to tell.
anything too game changing from this trio here as they just continue to disengage.
I know they do. Shark has 3.
Have to keep eyes
Checking
though,
chat.
on
Who do you think will
Shark,
win,
Jude,
guys?
NC, Andy. Shark especially has just been so
Guys, who do you think will win? You just type in chat.
pretty dominating Chapter 6 so
To be honest,
far,
mine
Takada,
for game
even
1
when it comes
is
to, like,
Sky
those
Scroll
solo
line
catch
drop.
cup performances, the eval finals, for example, and really excited to see how
I'm
he
trying to
continues
think back to
operate
the
alongside
predictions.
the rest of his team.
Still 89 players up.
Yeah, I just
Only
probably got
3
killed.
trios have gone down. It's almost looking like a major finals already.
What's
As
this
we see
stuff?
a lot of trios on the edge of zone here.
Oh my god,
They're
only
healthy,
3, I just
but
realized, bro.
no
Boring.
metal, basically. Could use more materials.
Yeah, there are some fights. Like,
As now
Ego
kind of
Gods,
the
I think
hunt
that
for
is.
Surge, the hunt
I
for
can't read.
damage. That's what Teeny's going to be looking for.
I have no
Why
clue
does it
who
feel
that team
like every
is,
time
but
we pan over Teeny, though, he's always crouch walking up onto someone. This guy is just the element of sneaky as can be.
Bro, this
Teeny,
guy
he got a
invented
little
the
bit more
teeny
attention than he
shot.
bargained for, immediately gonna be forced
So I feel like
back
he's the one who's
towards
going to be
the bottom
crouching.
of his current boxes with the rest of his team, but they do have an ample
There
amount of
is
resources.
something
It's just
people.
an
Chris
early
Teeny and
expense
Spi
of
are
their
the only
shield
team
that
playing
they
today who
probably
have won
would prefer
2
to avoid.
finals
I mean,
games
that's
this
a big part of the
season.
reason why you're looking for those sneak up plays in the first place. You want to get the damage without
Alright,
compromising
I don't know what
the
that
rest of your
means.
utility in the
Final game,
process.
which finals?
Yeah, this is one of the trios
I think they're
that,
talking about
I
the
would expect to
performance
get,
eval cup.
VR in this group 1. They are actually the
think
only
that's what they're
trio in
talking
the
about.
lobby that has 2 set lobby VRs already this season throughout the eval cups, throughout the divisional
Yeah.
finals. So
Nah, it's just the
I
eval
mean, I
cups.
see them as strong competitors to take home, even potentially this game number
That was one
1.
of the
As a quick
predictions to win.
reminder, it is going to be 5 matches that are played out. The ways to qualify are 1 through.
Oh, I did not mean to pause this. I think he put Shark. Okay.
Consistency.
I did
Place
not
top
mean to
5 on the
pause it.
leaderboard after those 5
kind of
matches
weird.
conclude, or just get a victory royale, and that kind of opens
Remember,
up
you guys can
the
type in chat
opportunity of, hey,
whoever you want to
whoever
win.
gets this first victory
Or whoever you
royale,
think
if they're
will win.
uncontested, going
Which
into the
might be
next
K.
match,
These
there
guys are
might be
kind
an
of
open drop
rare. They're
spot,
really
so we'll
good,
maybe
but
see some
don't know.
changes as
Not
time
them.
goes on and these matches
They have not
continue.
been doing well in set lobbies.
And you know, Levin made a call earlier.
They
about
barely
talking
even
about,
qualified.
You know, lobby qualities essentially, and I think for a lot of these teams,
Especially
some of them being a
Tropax
little bit
and
newer
Eggy,
pieces,
which
essentially to this set.
top
set
co-deal.
lobby kind of
Top
format.
co-deal,
I think
okay.
that's where we can expect to see some of the
Still
consistency
nobody
coming
has
through
died.
Takada.
3
A lot
teams
of
have died and
not
that's it.
necessarily wanting to be some of the first elimed, but that
Rabbit.
means that
It's
that
Middle
surge
East,
damage
bro.
threshold is
Rabbit
gonna
moved to EU?
start to be pretty heavy-handed against these teams.
Okay.
It really just depends on who's actually been able to stabilize themselves with their surge damage so far.
Frack.
Yeah,
Get some
I mean,
kills.
86 players still up, getting closer and closer to that 4th zone. This is
Teeny
this is a match.
Harris
I'm
has
excited. This is what I've been waiting for. Talk of the group stage is always something special. As we'll take a look once again. Well, I was gonna say Teeny's trio, but they're close by here.
Hyper
As we look
Killa
at
and
Kerwa,
Bella.
Kerwa's fan, which
No.
is Hedra, but you know, I'm just gonna call him
Hedra.
his fan for this game. Alongside
Kira fan and
Hyper. We'll
Kira.
see if they're able to continue with the dominance they've had from the early game. I don't want to make the caster curse a reality though, as they do get cracked instantly.
Teeny Huskavi and
Teeny's trio.
Fringe Mappy Kid are the
Yeah, big
only
factor working
ones that I
against
feel like just
Heroes
dive
trios,
spawn
the
too
fact
much
that
to
they had go
qualify.
cross-country for this one, right? Essentially starting off at
I'm
Woodley
excited
North,
to check
now
some
all
chat
the
of
way
it.
in Pump Power, and this zone just appears
Who do I want to
like it's
win?
going to keep
I just
going
want
over
Sky
this
Scroll and
mountain,
Airdrop
keep
to win.
pulling
They're
closer and
probably one of my
closer
favorite
to
teams in
that
this.
water line that spans around the outskirts of like Shattered Span and the like, and it's not easy to play these water zones either, Takada, especially if you don't have that Void Oni mass to depend on, because teams are just having to utilize so much more resources than what they would like to, and even Teeny's trio, a little bit worse for wear as far as that material count is concerned. They
I
need
feel like
to
these
take a
guys
fight,
won't
and
win
they
this
have to
game.
win it out.
If they win this fight, I'll give them more, but
That's no longer
this is our first zone
competitive.
right now. They have to. They have
You
no
wanna get that
match.
shield back. It's either Water Sprite, Shieldfish, or Minis, but as the aggression continues, Atris, Teeny, Skavi, making sure to poke from various angles. You don't want to all enter from the same wall if you're not looking for a triple spray or triple shotgun. You want to just find individual angles, try and cut off one of your opponents. And whatever you
This
can,
is just
try
not
to
gonna
get a
work
crit
out.
and not confuse
They
you.
just have to
That's
directed
how
aggression.
this fight.
There's a team on top of the mountain. There's a team on top of the mountain which will keep them. I think it's a duo.
Trying to see if he can get some support.
I only saw
metrics
two
coming
on the
through
minimap,
from
but
Kenty, but so
and
far,
they might not go
no
for him
good
if they know
here
it's
for
trio.
Teeny. He needs to break through this floor, and Kenty finally going to give that support aspect for Ego. Now Hatris, one more time, trying to apply that separate angle pressure here, Takata, but again, the longer
Oh,
this draws
no.
out, the easier it is for somebody else
Oh,
to poach the
oh
goodness.
God.
And Hatris
200 IQ.
Gonna
Oh.
find himself on the receiving end here, though, but Teeny just typhoon blading through, and it's gonna be
This is
success. Whether it looked a little bit crazier than what we would have anticipated, that's one packed punch from the Typhoon Blade.
What
Guys,
an entrance. I was gonna say, you know, we're in
this
trios
is why
now.
we need the
Free
Typhoon
Edit,
Blade
gonna be a lot of
nerfed
people.
or
They
removed from
have no
competitive.
material that was
They're
expecting
600 above
free
surge.
edit play to come through
They're
in
good, they're
trios
good.
when all the trio knows where you are. Pre-edits are more kind of a
They're good
sneaky
now, they're good.
strategy where you do it when
chilling.
your opponent's unexpecting it. So the Typhoon
Hey.
Blade right in looks like
That
worked out
works.
for them
Sky
this
Scroll
time,
Hydro.
so
These
we're
guys
gonna
are
be
the
able
ones
to
who
get
I
that
want to win.
refresh, continue on into
And
the
probably
zone.
will
It is
win.
fourth zone, so we will be able to see that Rift Island appear here shortly and maybe see some plays being made.
If there's one team that I would definitely anticipate to make a play for that Shogun's Arena, it's going to be Sky Scroll and iDrop. And they have it more often than not than any other team I've seen, Takata, as far as endgames are concerned. And not only that, but when they're this far above in the surge damage threshold, as is 1,067 to be exact, they've got more than
Alright,
enough
that's
time
is that 6
to
up?
essentially secure which direction they want to head, even if that means
The
heading to the
replay.
arena.
Let's take a
Maxi?
look at a replay from Maxi here.
Okay,
Yes,
just
it looks
jump
like a
straight
quick
into a
free
box. Good enough.
And we take a look now at the Rift Island once again. We talked about it. It's going to be Hyper, Kerwa, and Hedra. As a reminder, if you're just tuning in here from last season, there is kind of a boss now on this Rift Island, which is Shogun X. That does drop a medallion, which will give you infinite stamina and invisibility.
Can you watch that match with?
sprinting Alongside some
Match?
extra
No,
loot
no,
and
no.
shields.
I'm about
So
to check,
we
bro.
will see
Don't see
trios
that
kinda
future leaderboard.
every now and then
Drew
try
died. God, I didn't
for
know
that.
that.
As we take a look once again at
Teeny
Teeny,
Huskavi
Suri,
up
Matrix.
on this giant
Who
surge
take an
tower.
Elevated position, but they're not in zone yet. So it's a good
This is
time to
5th?
plan out their rotate
What?
division that they currently
Am I like blind or is that just like
And that
tiny?
last fight
I think it's balls like
seems to currently be the saving grace
other
right now
side.
for Teeny's trio.
gotta
But
rotate.
they're not going to waste any time. They're going to keep trying to see if they
5
can find
games.
those third-party search tech opportunities. Team fighting just below them. All the while,
By the way, no
True
points have
Legends
been
Jason
placement points have been given out yet.
currently boxed up
So
underneath
people will have only
Sharksman
gotten
Bridge.
points from kills. So
Tarky, though, in a little bit of a tough situation here. Bench between the waterway and separate teams on both sides
are they in zone?
of these hill spans.
Wait, I don't know.
It is looking
Right
like
now,
a
where is-
very grim situation
Alright,
there.
all the people who are
Jason
probably
Truitt
gonna win
Jason
are still
really
alive.
just waiting
Alright,
for an update and moving
oh,
closer.
that
Counter
makes
the
more
goods
sense.
after he gets eliminated.
Why is it going up
This
here?
is interesting. Pixie,
Very
Vanya,
good.
Marius,
Oh, they're below.
6 below. And I mean, seeing
Okay,
that
that
Vanya
makes
is
sense
part of
now.
this
That makes
trio,
sense. That makes
40%
sense.
win rate in these reboot style matches. So you know that they're going to be playing for that victory royale. I mean, Vanya was the only player who qualified.
It's gonna be so
all
like
three
contested in this because Victory
FNCS
Royale qualifying.
2024 major finals by winning a semifinals game, by winning a match.
Oh
in
no,
this
this
type
might
of
be it.
format. So it's all or
Yeah,
nothing
they're playing
for
so
this
aggressive.
trio.
This might be
They need
it.
to get this
If
damage
that team
out.
realizes
They need
they're
to close it
taking
out.
surge, they're gonna play so safe and
Get
just get free
affected by
kills.
Storm Surge. If you're unable to do enough damage, they're not going to
Oh,
be
no.
able to bring it to the
Yeah,
end
that's
game
it.
as shield fishes are getting used. Vanya
Oh,
goes down.
that's
Marius
the end of
is
the
already
game.
eliminated. Pixie is now left alone. A
Pixie.
miracle is what he needs to get out of this situation.
You have to
Another
void,
shield
you have to
fish is
void.
gonna be popped. The zone
Oh, Pixie's
is
still alive.
gonna be
Yeah, he has to
closing
void
in.
away. It doesn't matter his
Pressure
surge.
is
He has
on,
to. It's
and Pixie
his only choice.
needs something crazy.
And he's
to
high
happen.
up, so.
And Pixie just needs to bail at this
I don't know if he got the
Pixie
reboots.
versus Pixovsky. There can only
I
be
think they would do
one,
well,
essentially,
but,
and Pixovsky,
they did
Batter
really
Cry,
bad in
Vansky,
that
they're gonna
fight.
defend their position quite handedly there. It's surprising as well because
Look at Pixie in the minimap.
Vanya, there's a lot of fighting power in that trio, so for them to be in such a battered position, struggling to try and maintain that surge damage threshold, tells you that something went horribly wrong in that early mid-game.
Yeah. Curious to see how it looks in the upcoming matches. Kind of see how they play it out.
Hope
if
they do
change
better because
anything
that was
or
really bad. How
what
much
maybe
points is that?
is going
0?
wrong.
They got 0 points. I don't know if they got a kill.
106 above.
Maxi King, Maxi's team might actually win this. They could be one of those teams that just win this.
Trios in the surrounding area, but it looks like
Axforce
Axforce is
now.
going to be
Oh, no.
going close here. Raban closing space, gets straight into the box, but he's going to be cracked as well. As now Raban has to take some time to heal up. No player has gone down
These
yet.
are both really
Yeah,
good
you
teams,
just
by
have
the
to
way.
be so careful when you're actually choosing to just barrel into some of these boxes. Palm can be menacing, but for me, Takata, this is the team with the Shogun medallion.
There's so much people in the chat as well. Like, look at the water right there. Yeah, nobody's in zone.
Granted, it could just
And
be
nobody pulls on.
they're trying to just
The shattered span zone is so awful.
Don't want to be playing it necessarily
Like,
from the
what?
low ground, but infinite stamina
Lucy?
and invis, that is just so
Lucy,
much
Loki, and Moan, bro.
fighting power behind it.
Underrated
I would be more
teams.
aggressive with that.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I mean, it's good for finding those angles in kind of
Let's see, bro.
unexpected situations, but when you see the whole trio coming
0
close,
points.
you do have to be careful, as it looks like iDrop's trio here did secure a quick refresh, good amount of damage. We are in 7th zone.
I am so
So
cold.
this
I'm
is
gonna go
5
get a
damage per
blanket
second
after
out
this
of the
game.
zone and 40 players for
actually
Surge to be
freezing.
active, so there's still 12 players that need to be eliminated, which means nobody's safe unless you're that trio up top, who was, I believe, almost 1,000 above Storm Surge, so.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Getting
hundred
a
from
chance
them.
even take a look back. We knew Pixie was practically full shambles when we last left off, and iDrop Sky and Scroll, they're going to waste absolutely zero time with
They just void ones
what
a minute
was
on
left
Trulix, Tyson
of
Chicha.
them. Trulix, Chicha, Tayson, though, a lot of these teams, I think this is where resource management becomes so pivotal, because it is very easy to lose track of how many mats you're actually expending over these water zones.
100%.
3 points a kill, by the way.
92 above for Tayson, Trulex, Chicho. I mean, Levin Mini, we're talking about this on the desk. Tayson's only picked up 1 victory royale in the play, and so far this season as well, based on their play style, I think it's more likely that they do qualify through consistency instead of getting a victory royale. But anything's possible in this group stage.
The playing,
Right now, the main
yeah,
focus
if you
is just getting
do
more
mad
damage.
with wins and playing, since it's a
Like
lower
Tayson,
level
Trulix, and
than
Chicho
this
have
as
also caught
well,
wind
it's
of the fact
probably
that
just going to be worth
high
playing
ground not necessarily
consistently.
fully established just yet either, but I would definitely wager that iDrop Sky Scroll,
What's
as
its own
we
pool,
approach
man?
that 8th, 9th zone, can look for a
It's
possible early high
full
take, and right as I
to-
say that, X-Force,
I feel like
Gruop
Axforce, Finashing, and
for
Robot
9.
do have a
They're
decent
gonna be
chance to take it.
a team that's currently in the most likely position to try and hold on to this hype, but they've also got to make sure that they're suppressing all these other
Oh,
teams
got you,
from
Dad.
encroaching
Shark
upon their current
as
layer.
well.
So this one's interesting. 8th
Um,
zone, you can see the zone is fully inside the
Is
storm.
he actually
A
still
lot of
alive? I
players
have
here
no
will
clue.
sometimes kind of
I don't
pre-fire
think
their
so.
Oni masks to
I
get
think
themselves
she
a position
did.
on the less congested side, but the issue is you don't want to
Let's
miss
take
out on
Max.
those tags. The longer
Max
you stay in
is
zone,
really doing
the
well
longer you
here.
watch all these trios rotate, the more openings you're going to have to get more damage. So if you're not healthy in damage, you're going to have to give up a bit of that time where you could be rotating to look for those tags. But on the contrary, if you already have a lot of damage, it's all about that rotation. Try and
Robob,
be the first
okay,
trio
never
to
mind,
get in
they're
zone.
not gonna be
But
taken
Axforce
high.
for 9, they're already down, they're already knocked, eliminated, as Raban now is forced to clutch it out as a solo.
Just didn't have
Hey,
as much
no,
material
these guys
as
are
they
not
would've liked
taken
at
high,
that
let's
point,
just say that.
probably hoping that they could have found the better end of the fight instead. They're the victims. So now, Robob looking back, looking forward. He knows he is completely surrounded. He's just going to hope to slip by unnoticed.
If
The
you have
slightly
how
later
much bots
rotate,
does he
but
have?
does expose himself to being
This
lobbied
is
at that
Trulix,
point.
Chicho?
Crane
Truck's
Bobby
dead.
Gate on the other side, trying to
Missed
see
it.
if they can get some elevated views, but
I think,
Tayson,
Maxi
Trulix,
died
Chicho,
as well.
tried and true, working their way through the low ground currently.
Placement points have just
Space,
barely
they've got enough
began
mats
to
to
kick
cover. What
in,
they
so
want is more pressure into this congested side.
Good news is, there's trios here. They have a lot of firepower if they're able to find even a solo, a duo, that they can catch off guard here. All it takes, one triple shotgun, triple spray, even a triple pickaxe, just some sort of synergy here. But the good news is they already have so many materials, they don't have to risk anything.
Might be
really
Cringe Cake
to
going for
look
high.
for these refreshes yet.
That's-
It's more just
I don't know
continue
if they
staying
know
ahead of
big
zone,
fine.
continue claiming
I don't know too much about this
and
team,
just,
but
you know, staying up.
This is
while all
one
these
of the
other
best
trios
teams
keep
as
getting
well.
eliminated.
They're definitely gonna go for height. Okay.
Cringe
I'm
immediately gonna
I'm
teleport
questioning if they
front
can
side.
keep it though. Against Sky Scroll eye drop, there's still a lot of Sky Scroll eye drop, so
So
they're the ones who are probably going to be looking to take high from them.
To control this elevated position, they're shooting down.
Put the twin on wraps. I'm not giving it too much attention, but
but Mappy, Cade, Cringe, all trying to do their best to monitor each other's angles.
so yep, Sky Scroll eye drop. They're already looking up.
Wager, it's only a matter of time.
No, he's Cringe Cade though.
They're not going to have
They-
the opportunity
they're
to try
really
and break
good.
through from that secondary
On
height.
Mordecai, I think.
Good news.
So they should be able to
Cade,
do this.
Cringe, and Mappy here is due to the environment, so many big buildings, there's not as many openings for these trios to kind of look for that triple Oni mask on the height, so they are continuing to apply a lot of pressure.
That's Super City zone. What is this?
Trio here are just
This is literally
right
Queasy's
hands on the
dream
trios
zone,
down
bro.
below, not yet looking above, as they're going to continue to drop down now, potentially claiming ahead of zone, blocking off the tarps from their opponents, even tanking a bit of storm to do so, but that's exactly what you need.
Look, if you can't immediately look for a height take, you might as well drop to the low ground instead and look to control things from there, especially since the desk already broke down. Just
Team
how
versus Khabib still
excellently
alive.
Sky,
Well,
iDrop,
not
and
bad.
Scroll are able to manage the low
Where's
ground
that?
in these types of
Yeah,
circumstances.
like-
Exactly, but
If
Hatred
Teeny
will be
wants to
the first
scroll,
fall
actually,
here.
this
Teeny,
is like-
V, they're just
Oh, no,
trying
Sky
to
Scroll
break
eye
through all
drops
these
that, bro.
pre-existing builds. The problem
Teeny,
is
run!
he's at a straight
Teeny,
first
run,
side.
bro.
The low ground has no idea what awaits him. Now he's gonna catch a glimpse. I drop Sky and Scroll. It's a full trio. Teeny forced to crouch it out, forced to play back. He can't continue to move forward like he hoped.
Especially as a solo.
Think Jason just died of
play
Juju?
there as Sky iDrop are continuing
battery.
to apply that pressure,
battery.
finding Elim after Elim. They
They-
continue to target.
no, they're finding Elim, bro.
Space,
Rax?
iDrop doing an
I think
amazing
Rax
job
is
of
without
trying to
Frederick
crush
Radion. I
opponents
saw
here and
Frederick die,
capitalize
but
on
I don't
these
know about
situations.
Radion. Cringe Mappy Cade, bro.
Sky
I feel.
Scroll, they are just moving as one unit, but with the way that this zone is
I drop Sky Scroll, bro. It's either them or Cringe Mappy Cade. Oh, no. Scroll dead. I think my top prediction right now is Cringe Mappy Cade. Payson, Truish, dead. There's no one in this.
He's gonna manage
What?
to work his
Oh,
way through
what?
just a little bit
No,
longer
they lose
here.
height.
It's just so tough.
They
at this
lose
point,
height now.
Scala.
No, they do not lose height. Frack?
Coming through now, Mappy is forced to tarp ahead. Look
No
back up,
way.
try and shoot them down as Cade continues.
I didn't. That
getting
was the last
pressure
team I
applied
think of
onto
it.
him, building up, but
Cade
not
dead.
enough. The last shield fish is used. He is going to get knocked down. Mappy, Cringe now. Last two have to work together as a duo
Cringe
to try and
dead.
chop down this high
Cringe
ground
is almost
and
dead.
do what they can. Issue is
There's
zero
like no one
materials,
solos. I drop.
nothing to work with.
Mappy was hoping to get a piece out of iDrop, but the teleportation is going to save him just in the nick of
Frack
time.
also.
Still 7 TPs left here
And
for
iDrop
Mappy
dead.
as well, but with no mats to cut
Sky
it,
dead
he's just
as
gotta
well.
hope for a miracle, and he finds one.
Cringe it's
as
Cringe and
well,
Mappy. He's
taking
still
down
alive.
Relvis, and now all Cringe needs to do is try and keep filing through this bridge, filing through Seaport City, but
Drop down,
it's just
bro. Drop
so
down.
much mayhem
No,
because
don't
of
drop
the
down.
high ground,
Oh,
so
no,
much
okay,
pressure,
okay.
but the low ground's breaking down as
I
well.
think they. What was with the communication there?
High versus low. It
No,
looks
I
like the
think
low
this-
ground might
Jonah
just be
dead?
able to finish this off.
No.
Moni takes down one, gets the knock, looks for the last one, but is it a one versus
That
one?
was
It is.
insane.
And a turnaround. 5 eliminations, closing it off from High. Taco, what did we even just witness?
We just witnessed a trio that nobody had on their list for being a Victory Royale specialist here.
Bro,
VP,
they
Scary
qualified.
Sean and Joanne find
Bro.
themselves with the very first security. And I mean, at the same time, it's hard to
Absolutely
monitor
insane.
the high ground from that position. So much mayhem just taking place there.
Whoa.
But
Well, that's a 39. What?
really came down to was just these teams picking each other
39.
apart. They never saw it coming
Oh
from
yeah,
height.
true.
It was a perfect retake from
Oh,
high
yeah,
ground.
they'll get the
Las
points.
Cabras
Well, I shouldn't have
with
done with
Spania,
39.
the Spanish trio coming from above to close it
Change them
out
up.
and secure our
Okay.
first
Alright.
victory royale in Group 1,
Where's
claiming that
Mappy
spot in the major finals.
Where's
I
that Sky Scroll?
lost the word properly, so I want to see what the desk has.
Where's that Sky Scroll? Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. So many minor.
I've got
I
fifth.
don't think you had that trio on your list.
No, I didn't actually. So I've already lost the prediction. I thought I was really hopeful going into it, and it's already gone wrong. I was expecting True Let's
So,
Tayson and
these
Chicho to win the first
guys
game, if I'm totally
here
honest, because I
all
thought that was how it was going to go,
qualified.
but it didn't go that way.
Come on, obviously,
Well, we'll
first
talk more
place.
about that after the break, but let's focus on that victory royale because we did see Joanne's trio.
Alright, I'll let you guys
challenge that
chill out with
from
this. Meanwhile, I
Cringe's
could get a
trio,
blanket because I'm
and
actually
it looked
freezing.
like they had to lose it. There was a crafty retake from Cringe's trio,
So,
but in the end,
I'll
they
be
were
right
able
back.
to settle for the victory royale. Levin.
Well, yeah, I think when you look at how that game played out, again, it's something we didn't really touch too much on at the beginning of the day, but it's so important in these types of formats, right? In the win formats, we see it in the evals every week. When people are guaranteed success or progression or money through winning a game, they're gonna send it for height, right? Like, there's no element of let's play out our mats and see how it goes. No, you're gonna try and make the play that's gonna guarantee you the win, and most teams see that as height. Golditi, Scary, and Jonah at one point during those moving zones looked up on height and looked at Cringe, Mappy, and Cade and said, wait, this is barbecue chicken, we can take this. They're on wood, they have no mats, and it just sort of worked out perfectly for them. We saw how much mats Cade and them invested to secure height. They didn't have enough to keep it, unfortunately, and so for the Spanish boys, they were able to just go up there and close it out. Still rather chaotic, right? You see on the
Right.
trip mini, you know,
I'm
I'm
back.
listening to the classes there, you almost didn't know
With a
what was going
blanket.
on, who was going to win the game, even after they made that play, they hit the right shots. And it,
Guys,
you know,
did you expect them to win?
It was so good from those
Kind
guys.
of
I mean,
weird.
it was all about that high ground hold attempt, I suppose, from Mappy and Cade and Cringe. They just didn't have enough materials, as you mentioned, and it was due to the lack of eliminations. They didn't get an elimination there in that endgame. They had one, I think, in the 11th zone, so just couldn't pick up any refreshes, which this season is just so important.
Sounds like it was a little bit too lonely at the top for Cringe's trio, but we'll be
Where's
talking
Cringe?
more about game number 1 in extra
Where
detail
are
after
they,
this
though?
short break.
Two kills. No. What are we watching here, bro? Okay. Well, guys, what were your opinions for this game, bro? Yeah, that was actually really insane. Reason, bro. I feel like there's nothing to talk about. I'm sure. Other than how well I did in the Aces Wildcard Cup. Anyways. So that was the team I was definitely not expecting. Who is this guy? Are you like in the guy in my chat or like tell me, bro? Like, please, I need to know who you are. Like, bro, who is that guy? I still have 1 minute, bro. $30 seconds left. 1 bullet. Does not have 1 bullet. When does this end? Probably now the time to check. It ends at 7.
Season 1. We are really excited to have got this season underway because that first game was utter chaos. Just getting used to the I guess the pace of trios, boys, and just all the action and all the new names that we're seeing in the lobby. And it feels like it was relatively new names that took that first victory royale, and they took it off some very established ones, because Sky, Scroll, and iDrop, they were definitely having quite the game at 11, especially the mid game. The Surge was looking healthy. What do you think happened for these boys in the end, though?
Yeah, I think there was like a crucial sort of moment that sort of cost them the game, right? They were looking sort of good during those moving zones, right? We saw them sort of staying ahead during temp zone, and
Alright guys, I'll be right back.
go, okay, look, they're setting up well.
I'll be right back.
And the problem for them is, as we headed out of Seaport City, we started to move up elevation, and they just weren't quite ready for it, right? You see a moment here where sort of iDrop's at the front, he's like trying to fight someone on low ground, Sky and Scroll at the back, sort of like trying to look for a refresh as well, get their mats up, and you know, Zone's just sort of pulling past his hill. It forces them to sort of go out into the zone and try and look for a TP back into zone, and in that process of TPing, it's just completely chaos, right? Completely scuffed. Two of them end up going down. It's left to iDrop, and yeah, as good as iDrop is, wasn't able to get the solo clutch.
Yeah, still not a bad game for these guys. They're 5th with 5 eliminations, pretty solid. They're looking good for that consistency so far. And I think, as you mentioned there, I've got a little bit chaotic. They don't necessarily have that loud voice of an IGL in this trio. I feel like I don't see that dynamic in the trio, so it feels like everyone's trying to do their own thing, trying to find some refreshes, trying to find a way to get up that elevation. And unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out for them. But I'm not too worried yet. I was looking at them off spawn as well, looking at how that they were getting Storm Surge tags early with the different teams around them, and they're playing so split. So the strategy seems to be working very well so far. I'm just slightly concerned that could be rocked a little bit as we go throughout the day, but a solid start from these guys, you can't complain.
Minimine, another trio you're predicting to have a solid start were Tayson, Trulex, and Chicho, and we did see them not aiming for altitude, but actually trying to fight their way through the lower grounds.
Yeah, they were, and I was a little bit confused actually when I saw this team actually below Surge there. I think it was around the 7th zone period. We sort of, I mean, I hyped up how good they were at playing this sort of mid-game Surge, those Surge towers. I was expecting a little bit more of damage, I suppose, coming into this point in the game. They solved that, of course, with their experience level, but it was all about Trulex there at the end, trying to solo clutch his way through. Tayson was there too, a little bit split from each other. Things didn't quite work out for Tayson in the end, but Trulex managed to squeeze out a little bit of extra placement.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it. I would love to sort of know what was like the catalyst for them, right? But we get to sort of like second moving.
I'm gonna go to the toilet.
I'm guessing like the team tried to like force some sort of like play on them, and then it sort of ends up getting scuffed. But that's not the type of thing you expect to see from those boys, right? You expect to see them sort of a bit more of a cohesive unit. Nevertheless, though, right? Still a couple more games to go.
It's really exciting to see Cringe, Cade, and Mappy having so much impact on the high ground for the first game of the day, because I'm wondering if this is a trio that we're going to see a lot more from, and maybe even as the competitive year goes on, because everything seems to be working out for them. They seem to be a very well-coordinated unit, and Levin, we were talking about how important communication is for these trios, and it looked like it was on point for these guys.
Yeah, and we sort of touched on it a bit before, but you know, up to this point,
all right, I'm actually back now.
Right? The problem that I think you factor in is that you invest a lot of materials to get into this amazing high ground position, and you factor in the fact that this is a game where everyone's trying to win the game to qualify.
What's the number, bro?
People are going to start TPing up, whether they're stacked or not, and if you're not stacked because you've used all your materials, how do you deal with that? They can't build fight people, right? And that ultimately costs them. So we'll see if that's an adjustment they make, and we keep seeing them up on a height. But I did like sort of the intention from them at first, Mini.
Yeah, I did as well. I mentioned before the break, they didn't quite get enough eliminations. They only had one go to that 11 zone. We saw it right there. And I think, you know, being so high up, which of course need to be in this meta with these TPs, you know, being so prevalent in this endgame, it's so difficult to be that high up and find eliminations and find refreshes. So I think that was sort of their downfall in that endgame. They couldn't quite find them. So I think what we want to see from these guys, more proactivity when it comes to eliminations, more sort of refreshes when it comes to actually building up for height and playing those high layers, and they should find some success for these guys.
Well, we've got 4 more victory royales on the cards for our trios today, so let's head over to our casters, the best Taco and Takata for game number 2.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Look, Taco, I'm still blown away. I mean, being from Spain myself, seeing a Spanish trio where 2 of the players were competing in their first ever set lobby finals like this, I mean, it's incredible to see. But look, this also opens up a new opportunity. They were dropping at night shift, so now You know, they were contested before. They're not contested anymore. There's only one trio there. Will another one contest them? What do you think, Taco?
I think
So they can. I think what happens is once you play your first game and you win it, you cannot play it anymore. You just cannot.
A strong end game finish, because we saw them early on, third party up against Marine in that contested situation taking place by Twinkle Terrace. So they're not going to be the only team that are looking for that type of fixation, because game number 2, we got a lot in store.
I'm excited. Only one game down, and I'm already feeling the group's excitement. Like I mentioned previously, Night Shift now only has one trio there. The issue is, I believe Brutal Boxcars had 3 trios contesting each other. I'm curious to see if anything has changed up. If players have kind of decided now, you know, maybe I can try and take over Night Shift. I can go somewhere else. What's going to be the ultimate strategy? But hold on a minute.
Well,
hold on a minute.
There's definitely going to be some shakeups in strategies, Takata. Keep in mind that potential triple contestation that we might have seen with Risk, Frix, and Stali, they actually moved to Demon's Dojo and unsuspectedly conned Robin, Hydro, and Trexer. So I don't think that it's safe to assume that anybody is going where they might have initially led others to believe, because it looks like that triple contest was not the play after all for Frix's trio, as once again they find themselves
What was
at
that?
Demon's Dojo, trying to get the better end and succeeding so far. Trexer doing what he can, defend for himself. Stalin gonna be the first one to go down, but Trexer just trying to see if he can get a little bit of backup here. This time, Hydro a lot more prepared for that last minute con.
Oh yeah, great job cleaning up this engagement right off the start, basically, meaning that now they should have what is a majority, all of Dojo free for them to continue looting, taking out that Night Rose NPC, getting that extra loot and continuing on forwards, just like Frixie is going to be doing as well.
Yeah. Freezify, Big Luke,
I'm really nothing to say. I'm 2 teams dead.
just not going to be left alone. I mean, with it being a mid-map position, this is prime real estate to try and take control of. And not to mention the train itself, Takata, but it's not going to be an easy feat
Give me a
here.
second.
Did you tell me you're cold? Do you want me to get you something on?
Oh no. I paused it.
Alone and not going to be able to find the shot that he needs. It does at
I
least
do not know why I paused
send
it.
a farewell card there to Marius, and that might have just been the last measure to seal their fate here, because now iDrop Sky and
Scroll? Oh
immediately
god.
collapsing upon Seaport City.
I already got it? Really? Oh no, Teeny made a mistake. 516 then?
Sharif, they're able to get a nice little sandwich to get their elimination, but as iDrop kind of found that, maybe even looking at the feed, we're able to know that, you know, players had been knocked down. It's a good opening for them to come in third party, and they played it perfectly to just get a bit of free extra loot, some free damage, and now even more options going forwards as we look at Atris and Skavi, who've lost Teeny already, but themselves are looking healthy.
Unfortunately, reminiscent of a lot of the starts that Sweet, Teeny, and Hatris have been suffering throughout competitive
Hatris?
so far this chapter, but that doesn't
Chris,
mean
alright?
they couldn't look for a bounce back opportunity. There's still enough chaos taking place in this early game as well, Takata, that they could definitely look for a reboot opportunity early on, but Tayson, Chicho, and Trulex, they were a team that Miniminer was highly, holding in pretty high regards as far as their surge damage monitoring is concerned, and for good reason. I mean,
Is he
very
empty?
often,
Shark and Joe?
Tayson control these mountains.
What?
a little bit
Is that
northwest
my live
and
stream?
southeast out of Foxy Floodgate, but more so Z Andy gets a piece out of Henry for this one.
Great job, you can see. It might have been
No
even a
comments,
predated
okay.
move from before, but just taking pop shots with the AR, looking for those openings, those cracks. As Ziandi
Oh, no,
was
Shark.
but one of his teammates has
Shark
gone
dead.
down. Both teammates down. Now Ziandi from Glory to now down in the depths, playing it out as a solo in a 1 versus 2. Is he going to continue to fight this one out? Is he going to try and run away, come back later?
That's
It looks
not
like
what
he's
he's
trying to take
doing
the angle.
currently.
Kind of looking to see what his opponent's
Oh,
gonna do, but a whole
sorry.
other trio sneaking on in.
That's
Pre-edits
it.
come through, as now it looks like
Sh-
they might be
Ziandi,
able
you
to
better
finish
run,
one
bro.
off, getting straight into the box.
Guys, can you at least put up a fight? These are all your walls!
Made, but it's just a matter of
Yep.
time.
Okay, done.
He's just trying to see if he can scurry
Please,
away, but
make an
Mario just
edit.
not gonna
No.
let this one
A
go for
cranky,
free.
almost
He
dead.
sees free surge like any other trio here, and
And
Cranky
yeah, they better run.
gonna make sure to finish what was left of Mabo, but
God, that was
more
just
importantly
cleaned up.
still, Takata, it's the fact that this team all the way from Hopeful Heights was able to transition into splitting pins and just immediately find that opportunity once they heard the shots being fired.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of third parties this game, which is a great thing to do, especially in these set lobbies. You're going to want to study, where your opponents are dropping. And then if you kind of see in the feed that they might be getting into a fight, or even you just hear shots to kind of know what your chances are in that engagement. Are you going to be playing a 3 versus 2, or are you going to be playing a 3 versus 1? And kind of based on that decision, know how aggressive you want to go in. I mean, in trios as well, it's a lot easier to just triple spray pre-edit into a box, where as before it might have been a little easier to kind of survive longer as a solo, as a duo. But if your trio is playing right, if they're on the same wavelength, then it's very difficult to get out of those situations when you don't have that advantage.
The action continues around Brutal Boxcars. Ugoba, Kifa, and Seden dealing with the likes of Moolah, but left side peek, not gonna find any success just yet, but Ugoba
What
also
are these
keep in
things?
mind, doesn't want to get pressured. Somebody trying to take the wall behind him. Still slow and steady is not the circumstance here. These teams know with how much
See,
noise they're
Andy, wow.
making, they're only going to
Didn't
draw
even
even
kill
more
him?
attraction here. So somebody's got to find time to elimination.
Oh,
It's got to
well.
be quick here. So
Was the
trying to
Andy
see
dead?
if maybe a different angular approach could be the difference maker, but it looks like this one might just fizzle out in the end. And if both of these trios were to leave at this point, Takata, that is so much invested material for nothing. So Seden knows, just build up, look for a little bit of height leverage instead, maybe.
Okay, this is the replay.
I
He
mean,
gets
I
a
think
kill
they
into
got a bit of
Fishy,
damage
and
they
then
might
Tropax
keep after
just jumps
that.
in
There's
and
not too many trios close by, so we'll see what they end up doing. But based on this replay,
they
Ziandi's
did get a
trio
kill at least.
has been knocked out of this match. And it looks like Tropex is going to be able to get a reboot here on Fishy. As
Cool
they'll
deal.
continue to try to loot up now. The issue is when you have a teammate go down in this early game, you kind of got to do what you can to get them their own E-mask back, get them the mobility, and kind of loot everything up again.
It's also just going to cost them time that they could be using to try and find those surge damage tags instead. And we saw how much of a detriment it was for even some of our more veteran teams in that first matchup of today. Lucian, Monet, and Loki, though. A slight surge base here, kind of peeking into the heart of both Seaport City and Rolling Blossoms Farm, but doesn't look like there is any movement out there. Most everyone has already managed to secure themselves a rotational position a little bit deeper towards that zone. Or
I
they're
have
looking to just
no
play
reaction, by the
the
way.
amount of shields that they have inside
I don't
of the
have anything
storm.
to
I know
say.
that was something that we saw at Demon's Dojo not too long ago from Rub and Hydro and Trexer. They had ample amount of resources because they found those eliminations so early they don't feel that pressure. That
Bob and
necessity to rotate so
Hydro
early.
and Chucks have to get
I mean,
to
we're
make a
still in
comeback,
these
and that's basically like
standard
second,
zones, not even
if
fourth
not
zone
win.
yet, so there's no Rift Island. You have a
Doesn't
lot
really
more
start
time
making
to
a
kinda
comeback.
play
They
the
do not
edges
have time
here
for a bad game.
and control how you want to rotate towards the zone. So especially if you're stuck as a duo, you kind of want to take a bit of a
What is-
safer route for eye drop.
Why are you guys
Sky and
in
Scroll,
one
though.
box?
Looks like they might have cleaned up something here. If not, they're just kind of splitting the spare loot, making sure their loadouts are looking good.
Bro, Moan and
But
Loki have
meanwhile,
the thing,
You
that's
have
why.
Moni up top, who I believe is tied for the most eliminations so far after game 1. But will that come to an end?
Oh.
As I
That was their
potential
base!
aggression coming, they already took some of the edits, as now they're going to chop them down and look for a potential fight. But the Oni masks were used. The good news about this season, about this meta, you can disengage very quickly, so it's okay to
Flathead.
kind of split up from your
Understood.
trio and take various angles, various storm surge bases to look for those tags without putting yourself at too much of a risk of getting kind of jumped by a full trio.
And it makes sense too why iDrop was after that fight in the first place. Because with this Typhoon Blade, it's definitely much more optimal when you just have your full trio rocking those Void Oni Mask instead. But the way that they're rotating away from Seaport City, almost surprised that they actually didn't elect to do a little bit more fishing. Could have just been a different player from their trio holding on to that. But
Oh,
Mabo
1, 2,
was temporarily
3.
back in action, eliminated one more time. Cobra, Yankee, and Malioich, they are still playing this southern section of the map, and the outskirts still being within zone means that they can continue to try and find those surge opportunities essentially against teams that were hoping for a reboot instead on the outskirts.
Yeah, I mean, already 2 eliminations on the board, so they've got a bit of that kind of early damage. Will it be enough to kind of do a full dead side rotate? Not quite sure. We'll have to kind of see as time goes on of how many players are up. 75 so far, as it looks like Maxi Mystic are going to be using a water sprite here to recuperate what they lost from that engagement. Darky's still knocked down on the ground, crawling to see if his trio will be able to help him.
Hello, who do you think will win game 2? Type in chat, viewer.
Problem right now though for Mystic and Maxi, and sure, they could always look to try and Void Oni around this issue, but Ein's trio kind of just positioning themselves between that movement into the safety of the next zone. They want to make sure that they are cutting off Mystic, Prax, and Maxi because they know this might be our best opportunity for Surge if they haven't actually found that chance just yet.
They know though, there's another duo behind them alongside the 2 trios, so it's kind of a risky situation in itself. There's always that potential for a third party no matter who takes the first fight. So I believe it's almost more worth it here to just do what Mystic's doing, farm up, make your way to zone. If you do want to even look for tags, you know, do it from the zone in an elevated position, shoot at the opponents that, you know, are going in later to the zone.
I'm checking trap.
We'll see what ends up happening, but full zone has appeared. Rift Island is back in business, and iDrop, Sky Scroll are going to be the ones to look to take down that Shogun X, get the medallion, and continue on forwards.
And look, they didn't get a chance to actually
Come
play
on, stop.
Shogun's Arena in Lobby 1. They still managed to get their hands on that Shogun medallion though.
That medallion, right, I just have to say straight up, it is overpowered.
Hard to say to
Like,
comment,
if you're
but
solo clutching with
right
it,
now
you
going to
basically
secure
guarantee like a
the
top 5
control
at minimum.
of this Shogun
Just guaranteed
medallion.
top 5.
And a lot of times, I do believe that this trio like to opt for medallion priority essentially amongst each other. So I'm really excited to see if they're going to be able to kind of answer that call that I was hoping for in the last game, where if a team has control of this medallion, you can look to play very aggressively for height takes.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on that.
Mold.
It's trying to capitalize on a sneaky shot. Unfortunately, it's not going to
Yeah,
connect.
no, don't do that.
It's going to use the Oni mask to try and
Run, bro.
away high
Run for your life!
from Hedrick here.
I
with
believe in
the
you.
Vipers trio, but they're kind of hungry. They know it's a solo. They know it could be free pickings, and it's even
Hedrick?
on the way to zone. But they're not going to chase it.
Come on, Mollis, bro. Believe in you, brother.
Also, probably don't want to give away
Believe
too
in
many
you.
shots.
You got this.
When they're starting to enter that edge of zone, it's very easy to get lobbied if you pull in that undesirable attention. Kind of funny to see an elemental chest this deep.
Yeah, still up.
Having been not cleared out just yet, but it goes how it goes sometimes,
I'll try to
especially
chat.
coming out of Shogun Solitude.
I'm gonna stop checking chat.
Zippy, Dirty, and Marine, though.
Okay, let's see how well these guys do.
On the Warriors Watch Water.
It's kind of congested down here.
That's now.
How would I make
zone.
this rotate? You have
Next
a...
one is going to be the first.
That's supposed to be a hard
so-called
rotate.
50-50 zone. where
If
can
you go
start
through that
kind of
river,
positioning yourself
it
accordingly,
might be
depending on
the best
how much
rotate
damage
to
you
make,
have, how
but
much
that seems
of a
looking.
safe kind of
This
position
is
you want.
gonna
if
be
you
a hard
have the
rotate.
opportunity to
I don't know
rotate
how
with
I
Oni
would do
masks
this.
or not, so getting closer
Not the best
to
idea.
the center if possible could be key here, but like we've mentioned previously, fishing is a strong part of the meta. You have a very good chance of getting
Okay,
shield fish.
they do have all void
needing a
masks.
fishing hole. Just fish anywhere you want in a
They're
body of
making
water.
zone.
So you can kind of
Ralvis,
stack up on a bunch
Tabule,
of
and
shield fish, which
Kashi.
are incredible for healing yourself quickly in the late game.
How's W? How long has W been playing with Ralvis? He's been
Just
playing
kind of
with
seems
Ralvis
like
a lot.
Marine's fishing party was a bit spoiled there by teams that started just sort of encroaching on their position.
Still,
Teams
Hello?
trying to make their way over some of the shifting
Oh, there we go,
elevation.
okay.
Mountain ranges
imagine
especially can
being
be pretty vicious to
600
work your way
below.
through.
What was that?
Relvis, Davule,
You're so
Gashi.
dead. You're dead to Surge when
They're
you
gonna
see
actually
that.
dip into the lower parts of this valley, but they know that they've got teams just ahead of them. Still trying to get mats from boulders where possible.
Try and stick
Raj
to the edge
actually
of the
with the
mountain.
trio
probably.
still looking to kind of duke things out there in the distance.
Axe Forest, Ravon, and For9 are 65 below. Good news is, if you look at the mini-map at the bottom right, there's a lot of trios close by, a lot of players that they can take shots on. Sure, it's gonna go down,
God.
gets knocked now. They're gonna capitalize on that for the extra damage on the knocked player.
Axel's
Now they
almost
might
just
even
died
open
to
up
Storm.
Another knockdown. Can they make it? 3, wipe out the whole trio while you're at it for 9, but be careful as shots from afar are gonna crack for 9. Now the danger levels are increasing as they're gonna have to take some time to heal up, but
Okay.
the zone is closing.
Is this 6?
See,
Yeah,
F9
it's
thought
a-
that was just a free
That's-
to
Do they have any medkits? I don't think they have many medkits between them.
Was that cringe mapping
Oh, they have chunks. They should be fine.
Bro,
don't die now.
It's just so unfortunate when you get pinched.
Bro, you got
in the
this.
lobby
You got this,
like
guys.
that.
You got this, bro. I believe in
But
you.
One team's downfall is another team's potential upcoming here as F9 running it
Ho,
back
ho,
one more
ho,
time.
that's clean.
See how we got.
Oh, God.
Just a couple of
Fanayan didn't
eliminations.
even see how
And
dominant.
He was
it was
just
there.
so stuck there
3v3?
between that other team.
It's
They did a great
3v3v2,
job, though,
I think.
closing out those two elims quickly. Right as the shots came in from the third party. The
Oh,
crowd is now free, and it's
Hyper,
already gonna be
Kira,
used.
and Hedra.
Eric and his trio, 907 above the Storm Surge threshold already. They know they don't need this damage.
They actually
You could always
don't.
use
I don't know
extra
why
eliminations,
playing
could
so
always use extra
aggressive.
loot, but
This should
it's
be
not
a
necessity,
pretty
so
free
they don't have to
rotate.
risk it all to try and get it. Also being kind of so stuck in the mud here. I hope they kind of maybe elevate themselves a little bit and look for a
They could have
rotation.
a
They are
pretty free
on
rotate
the
here.
congested side of zone, so especially with the Oni masks, they have a lot of options to rotate.
Oh, no,
here,
Rabid.
especially, you know, knowing they don't
Rabid
need that
not
damage,
Surge, bro.
so
Rabid needs
looks like they're
Surge.
gonna do exactly that. Meanwhile, the brawl, the chaos is gonna continue with I don't even know how many
But,
trios.
bro, how they not getting
edge
shot?
of
They're
the
just
storm here.
walking out
Now,
on
look, they might
the
not
open
need
and
damage,
breaking
but what they
everything.
definitely
What
need
is
is
this
more
stuff?
mats. That could
That's
be
a solo.
big part of the reason why they're trying to just linger a couple moments
They
longer.
could easily
see
keep that. I
if
don't
there
think they
might be
know
an
it's a
opportunity to
solo.
vulture some of those other teams that were just stuck in that conglomerate of box fight. Hyper, Hedra, Kira though, just trailing behind. And one more time, a trio that definitely needed some damage. Don't want to just stay barely above that threshold. They will find solid elimination here. Hopefully True Legs, Tayson, and Chicho have also found more success this time around. And
Okay.
sure enough, these are the damage threshold levels that we kind of expect to see from this team coming out of their position for Boxy.
This is more the Tayson, Trulex, and Chicho mini miner was talking about in the early mid game, making sure they get more than enough damage while continuing to have a good amount of loot, good amount of materials, and be able to position themselves accordingly on these uncongested sides, get those early rotates. But for the duos that aren't in such of a healthy position, now we're forced to look for more damage. Moni is one of the elimination leaders, so aggression is there, but too much aggression isn't always the answer.
They don't want to leave it up to chance, though. Just barely hanging on above that damage threshold. They know
That
they've
is
got
so
to rotate.
dope.
Also, the problem, though. Very likely that there's still going to be a team hanging out on the top of that Shogun's arena. But now
They have to
both of
blade.
these trios down below getting tagged up by that Storm Surge. They waited just a moment too long. Sure, they might
Sky's
be able
will
to
end
get
up winning
TPs
this
through, but they
one,
want to get
right?
ahead because they want to look back, spray, hopefully just enough damage to elevate themselves. It's only 36. It's literally one tag here, but Lucy, he's just not going to find the opening just yet.
Yeah, Moni now got an elimination, but has the Onimas back in zone. And the issue is, if you looked at the mini-map, the amount of trios that are going to be looking back from the high ground, from the hill, of everybody rotating in, it's just free pickings from the
You have to get on the hill as well.
raining down bullets. As now Lucy, Moni, Loki are going to have to...
What do you do in this situation? And they're below.
Connecting these shots is one of the most difficult positions to be in, and as he
It's
misses
literally
Onimas,
so difficult. They're not lying,
I
bro.
don't know what they're
They're
going to do.
below as well.
Look, at the very least, he didn't miss out on this elimination opportunity, right, Takada? So make do with what you've got.
And
that's definitely
oh,
gonna be the motto for Monet. That Siphon
they
being
survived.
to play very heavily here, but as you already pointed out, all these teams that are already fixated on this
And
Big
Mo
Ben
dead.
mountain
Never
range,
mind.
it's gonna be so hard for a team to work their way up, especially
There's a
with
full
limited
trio,
mount
bro.
count, as is Loki.
And Lou.
Only 3 bandages as well. It is not looking good, Takada.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and you know, we
he's dead.
mentioned this earlier, but now all these trios that decided to, you know, take the option and put themselves or position themselves accordingly to take shots of the trios rotating in are now kind of missing out a bit on that rotation quickly towards the next zone. It is going to be a zone that's fully inside of the storm already, so if you're able to kind of be the first trios to get there, it could benefit you later on, but they are going to miss out on that damage from all the trios that rotated in. We'll see how they're able to kind of clean up this rotate. They have to go up a hill, go around a hill. You don't want to land in another trio's box with the Oni mask, so doing everything together with a lot of synergy is crucial.
It seemed as though Maxi, Mystic, and Praxi might have had one of the more ideal positions on top of this mountain range, but
Oh no, Skyro, do not sell.
Skyro obliterated.
They have, do these guys have anything other than choke
This team
slashers?
wants to make a layer swap. They were hoping to see if they can maybe find a knock or even just apply enough damage that they get a free rotate out of it. Instead, it's going to cost them a good amount of their splashes to make sure that Sky is back.
The only thing out is splashes.
So much surge though, Takada. It
I
does
know,
mean
bro,
that they
these
can
guys
wait
love
a
me.
moment
What's
or
funny?
two
Well, because
longer than everybody
Mario is
else,
doing
but
so
high
bad.
likelihood that they're just going to look for a TP to hide
Oh,
option.
no, these
Yeah,
were
we'll
some
see
of
what
those
the seven
expected
do.
really
They did
good.
victory out in the set lobbies this season, so hopefully
now
they
it's
can do it
not
again.
going
For
well.
Mystic, he's already lost one of his teammates and his other on just a sliver of HP. He can
Oh
slip
my
in the
God.
ice and it could cause him to get eliminated. Both now.
No,
top
why'd you go
HP on
there?
board, doing what they can is now Mystic is going to get knocked, brought into the box of his opponents. And it looks like
Maxi's
Prince,
still
Mappy,
alive.
and Cade might be looking at a potential change in layers here. Are they going to be looking up?
They're going to have to go for the chop first against Vanchki and Battercry, who aren't trying to make this easy by any means, just continuing to wrap their way. Good amount of investment, though. Practically all of the brick. That is going to be all of Cringe's brick at this point, so the hard mats expended does mean
Yeah,
that
Maurice,
Cringe,
so
Mappy, and
true,
K, they feel
not bad, but-
confident that they're going to be able to make this transition for a high take.
I like that tarp though. They went into the
So-
storm, ticked a bit of extra damage, but it's okay. They can reheal it up later. They position themselves in the front now. Nobody can cut them off. As the Oni mask coming through. Little
313 now. A few solos or kills.
Cold fight might even break out here. I don't know if you want to keep going up here, but looks like they might have been able to claim it. Nobody contesting. Better Cry in his trio here.
It's a duo at this point, though.
Yeah, it is.
Someone is bound to look up soon enough here, especially with some of the teams that we see down below. Marius struggling, though, getting a bit smothered here. Battercry trying to defend this high ground position alongside Vanchki, just taking separate positions temporarily. If you're going to try and hold it as a duo, you might as well front. Act like you are a trio in the process, doing a decent job of maintaining towards that front side of zone as well.
Doing a great job of applying pressure to those trios that are second height, and they know now when they build out ahead, their next move is to look back, take shots, but after being cracked, it just opens up another option for them to play more aggressive. Height is going to be given up, as now Cranky and his trio are going to continue to build up, but the triple